I continue to earn from AMC. As long as the stock remains stagnant, I make money. Currently, I'm selling options and have already made a very good profit, but let's go step by step. First, I'll remind you that I started an experiment. My goal is to outsmart the hedge funds. My goal isn't just to make money, but to outsmart the hedge funds. I'm using a complex combined strategy. Primarily, it involves selling options with hedging options, and I also buy a few calls to stabilize the portfolio. I'm gradually adding AMC shares to create a delta neutral position. Currently, the experiment started with $10,000. To completely achieve a delta neutral position, I need to accumulate a certain number of shares. When I reach 2380 shares, I won't be surpassed by the hedge funds anymore. Let's start with the results of this week. AMC closed above $4.05, specifically at $4.83. I'll remind you that I had sold many options, including put options with a strike of $4.05 and $4.50, and currently they've expired. See, currently, my position on AMC is a put option with a $4.05 strike. Since they expired, I'm adding the profit here. They closed at $0 here. My profit amounted to $614 from the $4.05 strike that I sold at the beginning. I'll remind you that all my transactions are tracked in every video. You can watch the previous videos where I sell these options and explain the logic. Also, I added 5 more positions, totaling 10 with a $4.05 strike, and currently the $4.05 strike has brought me $1,000. The total profit from the sold options is now $1,422. As I said, with all the profit from the options, I'll buy additional shares. I'll remind you this disclaimer: all my transactions are imaginary, purely fictional. Do not follow me under any circumstances. You will definitely lose all your money if you sell options. You will lose money if you buy options. You will definitely lose money. Under no circumstances are these investment recommendations. They are solely made for the show. So what did I do next? With the money earned from selling options, I bought another 220 shares at $4.88 each. I'll add them here. I'll write it down separately to avoid confusion. Also, here we calculate the sum. The top line represents the number of shares, the average price per share, and the total amount spent. Now we'll enter the results into my weekly table. Today is February 18th, and we'll add the earnings for this period. It turns out that purely from the sold options, I've earned $11,442. This is a 10 gain. Let's record it. AMC is currently priced at $4.83, which is up 15 from the initial point. My portfolio is up only 10. So at the moment, it seems like AMC is still ahead of me. However, we must never forget about these sold options because the profit from them isn't realized yet. I haven't recorded their profit here, so if I had, I would have overtaken AMC long ago. Later, I'll make accurate calculations to include the purchased AMC shares in my tally. Currently, my average price is lower than the market price, so that's also a plus. Here, I'm solely showing the logic of how I'm trying to surpass AMC. This logic can be applied to any stock. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let's look at the chart to see what's happening. Again, I remind everyone, I can't predict price movements. My task is to manage positions and portfolios properly. You can see everything live. If the stock goes up, great. I have a lot of sold options and they'll gradually close out profitably. If the stock goes down, I'll continue selling options, which is also good, especially since I already have accumulated profits. I'll reiterate my logic regarding the short squeeze. I acknowledge that AMC stock might rise due to a short squeeze, but I don't believe it will reach $300, $400, or anything like that, contrary to what bloggers say. That's just my opinion. You may disagree, and I understand. However, I believe such extreme growth won't happen again. The stock may grow steadily over many years. Some ask where the short positions were closed. The short positions were closed long ago, and they were being closed throughout the downward movement, with many covering during the squeezes. So all this talk about certain stocks being frozen or destroying everything is a myth and fabrication. It's better to just forget about it. Let's see how volatility has changed this week. As we can see, volatility is increasing. We'll add more strikes. The interesting thing is that now it's already possible to sell protective call at a distance. Yes, it's a small profit, but why not take advantage of it? We'll squeeze out the maximum. If anyone doesn't understand what I'm saying, I recommend watching my previous videos about AMC, where I clearly explain my opinion that bloggers lie and there won't be such a short squeeze. We need to accept that and continue working with what we have.